Okay, so I'm here today with a 1984 Kawasaki KDX 250, I believe. So this bike, just a quick story on how I got it. We did excavation work for one of my grandpa's neighbors, and when we were knocking down trees and whatnot, and I saw this sitting in the weeds, and I told him I'd take it if he ever wanted to get rid of it. So a few months later, he wanted to get rid of it, so he dropped it off at my grandpa's, and I went down and picked it up. He actually had a weed whacker around it in order to pull it out of the weeds, so that's good. But yeah, I've heard these 1984 models, they're pretty rare, and I'll show you in a second, but it's got like the digital meter, I don't know. I've heard those are pretty rare too, to be found in these bikes. And it's definitely, it needs some work. And I got it for free, and I thought that was good, but I'll show you there's quite the reason for that. And yeah, it's been sitting outside for a while. I don't know the last time it ran. And the airbox isn't here just because I pulled it out last night because I was messing with it. And it was late, so I didn't want to pull out the camera, but I pulled it out in the next morning so I could film, try to take off the carburetor, see what that looks like. And everything's basically, all these grips, the throttle and the brakes, they're all jammed up except for the clutch, which I guess is alright. These are gonna need some lube for sure. I mean, it's not that bad. There's not a lot of like rust, and it's pretty solid. So yeah, I'm gonna try to fix it up, and free bike restoration. How can you go wrong? So just a few things with this bike. It's road legal, and the last time it was registered was in '88. So that's over what, 40 years? So yeah. What's up with it is this exhaust here. I mean, hey, this is not that stock tube thing that comes out, and better than that. You know, there's a dent here, but that's nothing major. Other than that, I mean, the shocks seem to work pretty decent just by loading it on the trailer and just, you know. Here's that digital thing. I don't know. I'm trying to get that out of the sun. It's, I don't know what it reads or anything, but I've heard they're pretty rare. They're not common on these bikes. And what else? Oh yeah, the tires, I don't know if they hold air. This one looks like it might. The front one I'm not so sure about, because just by going like, I don't know, last night I was pushing down on it and it was making like a psh, psh. So I don't know if that holds air. And this definitely need a new one. That's a little weight reduction, you know, aerodynamics, you know, just extra 3 horsepower right there. But oh yeah, I'll show you so this is the carb. See how it's pretty nasty? Yeah, well, this all fell out of that. It was packed, this was packed full of nuts. Like, it was just cased in nuts. So there's a squirrel living in the airbox. It basically made a home. Like, the carburetor was like its food vault or something. I don't know. You never know with these bikes. And here's the nest I pulled out of it. So it's in need of some love. This thing, I looked in and oof, never going there again. But other than that, it actually fired last night. I'm not gonna do it again today because it's been sitting so long, I don't want it to seize up on me. Because I just sprayed some starting fluid in there and just kicked it over, and it made like a pop and fired off. So I'm not gonna push my luck with that, especially because it's a 2-stroke. So maybe once I get the carb run and all that, and lump some like heavy mixed oil and gas in there, and hope for the best. But yeah, might as well start pulling out the carb now. Now this came, like, I didn't even touch this clamp here. I don't know if you can see it because of this. There's a clamp on the other side. I didn't even touch that, and this already just falls off. So I don't know. So I don't know if that's bad or not, but probably is. Now that ain't great. Just by that right there. It's just got a bunch of crap in it. I'm not even sure how to get this off either. Let's see. That pops off, but then the slide doesn't want to come out. Hold on. I don't know if this will. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Yeah, that ain't something to brag about if this isn't your bike. Let me just tell you that. Yeah, she ain't looking so hot. So I mean, I may just end up buying a new one of these, just because they're only, I don't think they're that expensive. Because this thing's pretty gone, not gonna lie to you. I don't know, I'll give it a shot though. Gonna need like 18 cans of brake cleaner, that's for sure. Alright, now I don't know really anything about these, let alone the bike, but so this is gonna be interesting. It's just okay. Let's crack this open. Take all 4 bolts off. Let's see if I can. Actually, I should probably drain it first, just in case there's a lot in there. That might be smart. Okay, I just got this open and it ain't pretty. Like, this is bad. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll try my best, but it ain't promising. I can tell you that much. I do have some carb cleaner, so I'll just give it a quick hose. I don't know how far I'll have to take this apart, but I'm guessing all the way, because this ain't good. Look at this, is solid. I don't even know what dirt, gas. But this is what's coming out of it. This thing needs a soak for. Man, this ain't good. So I went through all my carb cleaner, and that's still what it looks like. So this thing needs a soak, I'm guessing. So I'll have to run down to Napa or something, get some stuff for this, and hopefully it cleans up. I mean, I got some, like, there was a ton of chunks, like, just back in here. I got most of that out. That was like solidized, like this stuff on the table. But then there's this crap over here, which I don't know how well you can see, but it's just lining the bottom. At least these are free. So this will definitely be interesting to see how well this comes out. I mean, this side of it doesn't look horrible, which I guess is good, which means the bowl wasn't totally full and didn't really affect most of these components. But it'll definitely need some of the clean. And yeah, I mean, the inside is just awful. So I don't know how well this is gonna go. Alright, so it's been some time now, and this actually came out pretty good. I mean, there's still some debris. It's mainly just stained at the bottom of it. Oh yeah, it took one of the floats out, but anyways, it's not too bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it turned out half decent. This was, at the bottom here, was caked in with just everything. And to be honest, I was thinking about buying a new one, but this might be reusable. So, I mean, next step is this thing here. It just, it's haunting, really. And yeah, if I get this, take a look in here, see how that looks. And other than that, we're on our way here to making this thing run. Now I'm hoping, see, the problem is I gotta figure out, because I can't dump fuel in the fuel tank because I don't have the fuel shut off. That's not on the bike. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way, and I don't want to just shoot carb cleaner in it just because I don't want the cylinder wall drying out and seizing up. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to dump oil and gas mix in here and hope for the best, I guess. Alright, so I went through everything, all the carb components, as best as I could. I pull out the screws, the jet, everything. And the only part I couldn't really clean is in here, because I don't know, this looks like it's clamped on for life. I don't know. I might be able to get it off, but it might be just a pin I gotta hit out. I'm not sure, but I'm not really concerned about it too bad. It's not horrible, but at the same time, it's not great. And in here, it's clean. This is cleaned out well. That's cleaned out well. The floats, they work well. And this, again, it ain't great, but it might get the job done. And if stuff gets knocked around and it starts running crappy, if it does run, I'll come back in here and clean this out. Now, the other concerning issue is in here. Now, remember, there's a squirrel's nest in here. I didn't show you that. It was packed full of nuts. It's basically what I'm trying to get to here. And just all in here, it ain't pretty. But she might run.
I don't know. I got all the loose stuff out, and I don't know. Choke seems to work. I sprayed some carb cleaner through here, and it seems to work, and I don't know. So I'll have to put it back on the bike and find out. But oh yeah, and this was on the, so this is where the air filter goes on, and then on the other side this connects, which connects to this, and this is a screen, and it's basically my only filter. So I think what I'm going to try to do is see if it runs, and I think I'm going to have to hook up a fuel filter to the fuel tank, and I can't use the fuel tank currently because I'm missing the valve shutoff, the fuel shutoff valve, and so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make this work. I don't know. But the other problem is with this is it's got holes in it, right? You can see daylight through the other side. So I might have to, I don't know, flex tape it. The only thing it's gonna do is suck air, so I guess that might work. It's gonna have to if this thing's gonna run. But this thing's like concrete. I don't, it's probably was soft back in the prime, but yeah, and that's basically it. So I'm gonna try to put this back on and just see what happens, really. I'm trying to think, am I missing anything else? I don't think so. Oh yeah, the throttle. I don't know, I can't remember if I showed this in the beginning, but it was stuck, and it was just a slide. It was just packed in there with just crud, and it wouldn't go up or down. So now that's free, which is good, because, and the brakes are still locked up, but if it runs, then I'll mess with the brakes. But until then, I'm not even gonna bother with them. And who needs brakes anyways, right? Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention was I cleaned using brake cleaner and some good old carb cleaner. And this I let soak for a little bit, but I was stupid and didn't really screw this on all the way, so that just leaked out. But anyways, it worked pretty well, and I had some of the thicker stuff. I didn't really want to, but I had to use a screwdriver to like chisel it off because it was packed on there, and there was just no way I was getting that out with just like carb cleaner and whatnot. So I'm pretty impressed with how it came out again, but we'll see how it performs. Okay, so it's been a few days, and the last part you saw was me trying to start it, and it wouldn't take fuel, so I took the carburetor apart again, and it was the main, or not the main, I think it was called the jet valve, I think. Can't recall the name of it. But anyway, it's got like a needle in it that controls the flow of fuel with and then the floats either stop or letting fuel. So that was this piece here. I don't know how well you can see that, but that was all clogged up, and I took that out, and the needle's supposed to go inside of there. I'll show you in a bit, but that was all gummed up bad. So what I did was, I was out of town for the weekend, so I let that soak for a few days and brake cleaner, and it did remove a lot of the garbage that was in there. So I'm hoping now it works like it should, and it doesn't get stuck up. And let's see if we can put it together and see if it'll run. Okay, here we are. So I'm gonna put this back together. Now this is the piece that lets in and out fuel. So I feel that it's supposed to be able to slide freely, which it does. And then that way it can either let in fuel or block it. So I'm gonna put this back together and I'll let you know when I'm finished. Okay, so just by putting the spring on, it seems to act as it should. See, it drops down, slides back up as I push it. So that should work. Now I'm gonna put this on, and this just is a pin that holds it in. Yeah, it's acting as it should. As I push this up, that needle also moves up, which is what I want and should work. So now that I have this piece together, I'm gonna put it on the bowl and then I'll put it on the bike. Okay, bowl is both bolted up, but earlier I broke the bolt that went in here to, the plug or whatever. So I'm gonna have to just duct tape this for now, and I'm gonna have to buy that or make it somehow. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out later, but for just testing purposes, this should work. Alright, so I just shoved this funnel in the fuel line here, and I'm gonna see if it takes. Seems to be working. Yep, bowl is filling. Now it's leaking out the side though. Okay, so I don't know, I think that means working, but I thought the floats would have stopped it. I'm not sure. Might as well see if it runs though, so see if I can get that working.
Put the fuel in here, gravity fed. Now probably now. It's not a fuel killer.
So I did the right thing and left the old work clothes on for what we're gonna do today, which is gear oil, because you know, now that we know that she runs well, you know, you gotta drive it around, you know. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure how much it takes. I don't know what it takes. I'm just eyeballing it at this point. And what else? Oh yeah, I'm gonna mount a Gatorade bottle to the fuel line to make it like kind of like a fuel tank out of a Gatorade bottle. I've seen it done before, and I think I can do it. And this thing, it sounds good, and it seems to run good. Just the idle's a little bit off, and I mean, other than that, she brakes. These are all, you don't even want to look at that, but who needs brakes anyways, you know? And the front tire held air, didn't go down. I filled it up yesterday, it didn't go down overnight. The back one, you know, it's got dry rot in it, but I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that and just ride it around anyways. And trying to think what else. Oh yeah, the air filter. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find that. So I might try to just get some of the foam, the air filter foam itself, and just try to make one and hope for the best, really. But yeah, it's a bear to start. I didn't get it on video, but we had to like choke it, unchoke it, put the hand over the carb. It just took real wizardry act to get this thing going, but once it did, she was mint. So I got the fuel shutoff valve coming in Thursday, which is tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to clean the tank out. It's plastic, so it doesn't have any holes in it either, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, it's kind of coming together here. I just want to see if I can run and drive it. See if it, I don't know. I tried going through the gears once and I couldn't, so maybe with the new oil, I'm not sure, but we'll see. So I think I'm going to start off with the fuel tank. I say fuel tank, but it's a Gatorade bottle. I'm going to try to I bought a new line, so I'm going to try to maybe drill a hole that's just big enough to squeeze this in. I'm hoping it'll pinch it off and that like just hold it in. And then I'm going to stick it out like, you know, an inch or so of the cap, and then so that way I can, you know, take this off, fill it up, put it back on, and then I don't know, maybe duct tape it to the fuel tank. I don't know, we'll see. But I've seen other people do it, so might as well try it. So I got this drill bit, and it's just, I mean, I don't know, you can always go bigger. So I figured start out small and just see if I can pinch it in. And if anything, I can just, you know, give it a little wiggle and it might work. Alright, that didn't come out too bad. Just put that anywhere. But I might have to widen it. I think first though, I'm just gonna rinse it out with gas just to, because it does have some little bits of water in it. And yeah, it's got chunks in it from just drilling it. So I'm gonna see if this fits after I clean it, just so I don't get, I don't know, it probably won't hurt it, but whatever. I don't want to get anything down it, to the line at least. Okay, so it barely just won't fit, so I'm just gonna try to shake the drill around in there and just see if I can open it up just a little bit. Nope. I guess I'm gonna have to go to a bigger drill size then. Alright, so I got it to fit. I just had to take a 1/2 inch and just basically just press against one side, press against the other, and just worked my way around, and I got it. So it barely fits, which is what I wanted. And now I'm going to go on to gear oil, I guess. Great. I don't know how this is gonna go. So I got all kinds of water bottles going on today. But I'm hoping really that it just fills this and that. I'm hoping that's it, but I think I'm gonna ignore that one over there. Anyways, I got another one. And these do have water in them, so a little bit, not a lot. But anyways, if there's some water, that might be just from the bottle, but it also could be from in here. I don't know. I've never done this. I just eyeballing it, just guessing. And hoping for the best, really. It says up here, you probably can't see it, but oil 0.9 and some cursive looking out. I don't know if that's liters or kind of hoping it is. So 0.9 liters. Oh, wait a minute. This says 500 milliliters, and that ain't. Oh, so I might need both of these then. Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to just crack her open. Oh yeah, this is gonna be real fun with the wood in the way. But the kickstand's bending on the other side, and also I want it kind of level, and this kind of helps. But a guy doesn't have a stand, so he's using what he has. Oh, it's definitely gonna hit the wood. Oh well. Too bad this lumber costs frickin', that's probably 15 bucks nowadays. Just one piece. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go on the other side. Oh yeah, right in the sawdust. Here we go. Let's see if anything comes out. Oh. That wasn't too bad. Uh-oh. I better get this set up. For deportation, transportation. Oh, she's filling up quick. Although this doesn't, I don't know if that looks bad or not. We'll find out when I crack open the new one. She's slowing down because she's uneven also. Let's see if I can tilt it back this way. Alright, so this is what came out down here. And these tell you, so 500 milliliters is this.
Okay.
And then this is over half. And I did spill a little too. So I'm gonna call it 800. And then on the side here, it says, you can't, it says oil, 0.9 L. I'm guessing that's liters. And what else oil would it be referring to? So it's right next to the fill. So I'm gonna start off at 800 and then probably just dump 900 in there. I forgot to put the cap back in.
Ooh, how much did you spill?
Too much.
What is yours, 1040?
Yeah.
Oh, this is, here. This is, yeah, that's you. And that doesn't work for lower units. Watch when he comes around the Gatorade behind.
Yeah.
Just wait for the pet cat to come in. It's on the other side.
Okay, so I'm gonna end this video where it started, right here. And I know it looks, worse than when I started. It's got Gatorade bottle caps hanging off of it, and I took the front light off and rear lights off, but this bike did make it a long way. So I'm just gonna kind of recap like what happened and what I did. So I did kind of miss some of it during filming and when I was doing it, just because I was trying to focus on what I was doing rather than filming. But the main thing was just the carb. So when I took that off, it was horrifying. I honestly did not think that it was gonna work, but it did. And I took everything apart in that, and I was able to clean that just through brake cleaner and carb cleaner, and just the harder stuff I got with a screwdriver, just a small one, to try to not hurt it. And basically I took everything apart from in the carb and just made sure it was okay. The one thing I didn't take apart, it didn't work. So the key is to take everything apart and just make sure it is clean, because that is what runs, that's like the heart of the whole bike. It doesn't matter if anything else, if that doesn't work, then the bike ain't running. I mean, sure, other things matter, but that is the heart. And I just to have a few things, like I didn't get on film, like pumping up the tires. They both have air and hold them. I oiled the chain. Trying to think. Oh yeah, the brakes. I didn't really film that, but I did get them to work. It was just, I had to just adjust them. The rear one, it was just, I'll show you, but it was just a little thing I tightened just to mess with, made sure the brakes worked. They seemed like they were stuck, especially the front one, because I had the front wheel off the ground and I tried to spin it, and it wouldn't really spin that easily. So I think they were locked on, but I freed up the front one. I took some WD, sprayed it, and then on the front, up here, I kind of just hit this with a hammer, loosened it up. I might need a new cable still, just because they don't really return. Like once I hit the brake, it doesn't, there's slop in it, because it doesn't return. So I think there's corrosion inside the brake cable itself. But as far as cosmetics go, I'm gonna have to get, you know, the obvious, the up front fender. I can't find the headlight number plate thing. I don't know where to find that. I've tried. There might just be none out there. And the rear here, I'm probably gonna have to get, just because it's so brittle, but it might be alright. I might just be able to paint it. And the fuel tank, this has been replaced, I think, because it says on the bottom Kawasaki Plastics, which I think is an aftermarket, you know, make. And it just looks newer than the rest of the bikes. I'm assuming it's been replaced. And I'm just gonna kind of like make a few assumptions here on just like the previous life of this bike. So nothing on, like everything on this bike is pretty good. Like even like the tires, like they look good, and I think it didn't get ridden a lot. It was ridden for a few years and it just parked. I think it had a lot of low hours on it. Like the grips, even the grips, like these are still all intact. Throttle's a little bit worn, but still, it's pretty intact altogether. And what else? Oh, and the seat. The seat doesn't really show a lot of use, you know? It looks like it came off the factory yesterday, except for, you know, a few minor scrapes. It's perfect, really. And I think it just sat a lot. It didn't get a lot of use, because there's no real problems. I mean, everything works as it should, except for this digital thing. I might have to take that apart. I'll try to do that later on. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was like that first drive I did. Yeah, I might have popped the clutch a little bit. I didn't really assume the power of this bike. Like this bike, it's a rocket ship. Like, and I've never ridden one before, so I mean, I race go-karts and stuff, ride four-wheelers all the time, but a dirt bike, especially one of this size, is just a different breed. And I popped the clutch, and the front wheel came off the ground a little, peeled the tires. So that was scary, but the other dumb thing that I did, because we rushed it, and I knew I forgot something, and we rushed, because I wanted to ride it. I was excited, so I rushed it. I didn't put the helmet on, which I should have, but every time after I've ridden it a few times. I kind of did. I got them on video for my phone, so I'll see if I can get those in the video you're watching, but if not, then I wore my helmet every single time, and I wore pants too, just because like the exhaust, I didn't want it to burn my leg, and yeah, safety is key. I just kind of rushed that and wasn't really thinking, because I could have gotten pretty hurt if I went to one of those pine trees over there. Just a few things that are coming, or actually did come. So the fuel shut off I did get yesterday, so that's good. I'll hook that up. I'll rinse out the fuel tank. I got this pretty clean, but I just want to rinse it one more time with gas, just to be sure. And the air filter, that should hopefully be here in a few days, and then I can put on that. The kickstand, that's been bending continuously, so I've been trying to put wood underneath it, but sitting here for just a little bit, it'll be fine. It's just kind of when I start it and all that momentum's coming down from the kick, it just kind of bends more and more. So I think what I'm going to try to do with that is bend it straight again, and then try to weld like a piece of flat bar on the back of it, just so extra support and it doesn't bend again. The chain might need to be tightened a little. It's got a lot of slop. I think that's done by, there's a bolt on the other side, and then I think you hit this down and it kind of just pick and choose how tight it can be, and that's on both sides. So that's gonna have to be done at some point. And the carburetor, as I mentioned, I'm missing that drain plug or whatever. I snapped that frickin' first day or something. It was just so like badly just, it was like pitted. It was so badly just eroded or whatever, just corroded, and that just, I barely tightened it, it just snapped. So the tape, we've just had tape holding that for the past few days. It breaks in like 20 minutes because the gas just eats right through it, kind of. It just breaks the stick or whatever, and then it comes pouring out, and you gotta, stop the bike. So that's why I've only been able to ride it like 20 minutes at a time, not even. But that's gonna have to be done. The Gatorade bottle actually worked well, and you just filled it up with fuel, and then you just screwed it on here and duct taped it on this. So that works surprisingly well. I think all the gears are there. I was just messing around with it. I only went up to like 3rd or 4th, and then I went back down because it, started bogging down. The RPMs went lower because I was just at a stop while it was running. And oh yeah, I'm gonna change the gear oil again because you saw I didn't have the bottom drain plug on, so I spilled a lot, and there's not the correct amount in there, but there's enough to ride it. So, and also it helps to just clean it more in there and just get that old, just nasty stuff out. So I'm gonna redo that. Yeah, this bike, it was a great find. It runs and rides great. Suspension still is just great. It rides real smooth. It bounces like it should. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's a good bike. I'll just have to try to find some stuff for it.